I'm Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. Alright, I think we're up to Whirlwind Part 17. This is the longest series in history. Okay, so this is sort of my reminder. Oh, yeah. I changed the latch on the back of the machine. I will show you that. But this is all that was left of it. In these little holes in the sides, there used to be a latch that went along with this. That got ripped off and torn off along with the nylon feet. Apron cards. I decided to install my apron and install the apron cards, and I kind of messed with a switch in that general vicinity. I couldn't remember if the apron covered it or not, but I'll show you that if I remember. Messed with a switch. Yeah. So, oh yeah, I did a little bit of touch-ups on the head. This is white, basically primer. And it's a little whiter than the white on the head, but it was better than... I was trying to use my white paint marker, and that just wasn't cutting it. So a little white, a little black, and touch that up. Oh, and I have the logic probe out because I wasn't sure if I was going to need it or not, but I did get my boards back, obviously, and you saw in a previous video I was able to do some diagnostics. I did solenoid test, sound test, switch test, and that day, one time the CPU did not boot up and I just turned it off and on. I'm like, uh-oh, I'm probably going to have to address that. Well, today, it's the first time I've turned it on in 2 or 3 days and it's not booting up at all. So, I don't think I'm going to need this logic probe, but I can't say for sure. So I've got myself into a little bit of cosmetics, a little bit of mechanics, and now electronics. And, well, I was going to say, like, paint touch-ups, but that falls into the cosmetics category. Alright, oh yeah, so here's the apron. I think it looks awesome. This glue here, I don't want to risk trying to clean that off with rubbing alcohol, because that will probably take the paint right off. Maybe Goo Gone. I'm not sure. If you guys have any ideas how to get rid of this adhesive from a previous sticker without removing any of the paint, let me know. I think Goo Gone, because it's probably not as strong, like, because it's citrus based. So I have Goo Gone. I think I have a spray. Yeah, I got the spray bottle, so I could spray it on. Just don't want to lose my paint. So there's that. Oh yeah, these are the switches that I was messing with. I have 2 screws, and all these switches come off on a plate, basically. And this switch here was just a little wonky, and I found that it was the actuator was kind of twisting. It's supposed to be kind of, stapled to the other portion of the arm. I don't know if stapled is the word, but it's not really supposed to spin. So I thought I would try and, like, solder it in place, get it to exactly where I want it to be and solder it. I knew the solder wouldn't really want to take on that surface, but I think I might have got just enough in there, but I'm happy. These switches all go clicky clicky. They're all nice and straight. They're not touching the sides, and that was not the case before. This guy was a little wonky, so I'm happy with that. And it's pretty cool to service this whole thing. All you do is pull out 2 screws and you can access the whole thing, and just like 1/4 inch nut driver screws, so easy breezy if I ever need to service that. Okay, and what else? So I'll show you the touch-ups I did. I don't know if you remember, this area here was a little chunky. That's much better. And then can you see the white? A little bit there, a little bit there. Remember, it was like touched up with beige, so that looks better. There's a couple little minor spots that I did some black on. But all in all, look at that. I think I'm like super stoked actually. Just a little bit of those final touches to really just fill it in. Oh, I gotta sneeze again. This happens on every video now. A little bit of white touch up there. And I know I did some black somewhere. Oh, this spot here was kind of missing some of the art, so I filled that in. And then a little bit down here. But yeah, so that's looking better. Oh yeah, and must show the new latch. Nice and shiny. I use the old holes for this guy. It was a little twisted to the right, so I kind of cranked it to the left and tightened it. And the old holes here, someone on the line, it must have been Friday, I wanted to go home because this is how far off from center this plate was. It was over like a 1/4 inch, so this latch was like near the edge. So drilled new holes. There's that sneeze. Oh, sorry about that. Almost looks like I need to give that screw another twist possibly. There's the new latch. Ass end is looking good. And Jeff Jones gave me a suggestion just to remove this grill from inside. I checked, it's just like 5 screws. I might pop that off and give it a proper cleaning, and then I can paint like right up to the edges. You know, it'd be kind of cool to paint the grill yellow actually, although nobody would ever see it, but just for my own satisfaction, that would be kind of cool. All right, then back to electronics. So here's the power supply. I don't know why it's intermittent, but there's the 5 volts there that I was not getting. When you unplug this connector, well, this is the connector to the displays. This is basically to everything else. There's power going in. With these guys disconnected, I was getting my 5 volts, but also, occasionally I was only getting 1.4 volts. So it's a little bit crazy. Talked to my board guy. You know, obviously everything's testing good on the bench and good to go. So it's just a matter of, he suggested that I start disconnecting, you know, all the other boards and kind of systematically plug things in one at a time. So just for fun, let's power it on one more time. Obviously nothing's going to happen exciting, but I just want to make sure that my 5 volts on the power supply DC is steady. So then at least I know I'm starting with a good starting point. So here's a 5 volt test point. All right, what do we got? Oh shit. Okay, we got a good solid 5 volts. I'm happy with that. So the goal is to disconnect the other boards, like this power connector, this power connector, and wherever the main power is going into this auxiliary driver, wherever the main power is going into that. And I think I'm going to keep the CPU plugged in. And yeah, I don't know. It's just kind of, that's where I'm at right now with the electronics. Oh, and one little finishing touch, not finishing, but other little touch that I did, is I changed my post rubber from white to clear because I had a couple extras from the pinballleds.ca order. So I like that, matches my translucent slingshot rubbers. So I am going to be wrapping up for today. This won't be the end of the series because it's only 4 minutes long. But not much more I'm going to be able to accomplish today before I have to go and play some pinball. I'm going to a friend's place. He's got a collection of like, 30 pinball machines. I've never been there. He invited me, so I'm going, and I'll have to report back on the action. There won't be a video tour this time around, but you never know. Maybe in the future. So that's what's in the schedule for tonight. We'll see you guys when I get back, which is probably going to be tomorrow. I mean, I'll be back tonight, but I won't see you guys until tomorrow, so sleep tight. Alright, I have to document this just so that I can track what I've tried and what I haven't tried. My 5 volts was being intermittent on the power supply. So what I did was disconnect I started by just pretty much disconnecting what I thought was power to each of the boards. And then tried to get my 5 volts to come back to life, but that didn't happen. So I essentially just said screw it, and I removed every single connector except for power going to the power supply, and then from the power supply to the CPU. And I was still not getting 5 volts. So I thought that must mean that something on the CPU. I started to suspect the CPU. And so then I thought, okay, I'm going to disconnect the CPU and then see if my 5 volts comes back. So I'm going to try and remember my systematic order here. So then I believe I removed the connector to the CPU, tested the 5 volts, because it would go away every time I plugged this in. But the only thing in common between this anymore was that connector. So I believe I disconnected this, got my 5 volts, plugged this in with the CPU unplugged. I got my 5 volts back with this connector plugged in, so that was a start. So then I plugged this connector back into the CPU. So now we basically have 3 connectors. Power going here, power coming out here, and power going in there. And that is it. Like, I took apart everything. Those guys, these guys, just like every effing connector. And so now, let's see, yep, my CPU is booting up again. You can see by the blinky lights. So this is good news, except for that I don't know what the actual solution is, other than this connector might be a little bit in need of, like, maybe I got to reflow the headers, maybe I have to install a new connector, but I mean, I give this a wiggle and I can't get the CPU to crash. So if there was some sort of crappy connection, you know, that should cause the CPU to crash, which it is not doing, so it doesn't excite me. I'm not really thrilled. I like to have a cut and dry solution, but that's where I'm at. So I think I might remove the CPU, reflow the male headers, or replace them altogether. I mean, I guess it couldn't hurt, because it's all there is. Like, maybe redo this connector and that connector, possibly both headers. That's it. At this point of the game, that's really the only thing that would make any sense. Except I just wish that, like, wiggling would cause something to crash. Then I could kind of definitively... There it is! Yes! I like definitive. That's great news. I just crashed the CPU. Okay. I am going to totally reflow this header, which I should have did the first time I had it out, and redo this connector at the very least. But that is solid news. Okay, sweet. I might finally be onto something here. What a shenanigandous activity this has been. Alright, power supply headers have been reflowed. Actually, while I'm in here, I might as well do the other one, so yeah. Why wouldn't I? Alright, while I am waiting for a reply on my pinball repair help group post for Whirlwind, I still having some issues, but I posted a little video there, and I'm just kind of giving it some time to saute while so I can, you know, get a reply. I got an idea of which direction to go, but I just want to, you know, get some other opinions. But in the meanwhile, look at this. Black hole finally get some brains. It's been a long time coming. This is the only connector I haven't quite figured out where it goes yet. I forget. It doesn't use the old driver board, but it uses the soundboard, the sound power supply, and the chaser board for the infinity lights. I still need to connect the play fields, so I'm going to do that next, but I'll have to try and figure out where this goes. A12, I'll just check the manual what A12 is. And there's one connector here that goes for the motor that I do not have at the moment. But yeah, so that's kind of exciting. So what I got to do now is turn Black Hole into a pinball machine again, remove all the shit off it because it's substituting as a storage facility, close the head up, prop up the upper play field, and then connect the last of the connectors, connect the lower play field, connect the main play field, get all that stuff going, and then, I don't know, maybe we'll even hit a power button. We'll see what happens. Alright, the upper playfield is connected to the lower playfield. Now, gotta feed these guys to the front transformer panel. And I think that's everything, except for the rogue connector. I still gotta figure that out. The sketchiness that is servicing Black Hole. Never missed this part. Yeah. I mean, I don't know another way, but I'm sure there are. Okay, so let's grab these connectors. Come on. Oh, I can't wait to disassemble this entire thing just to like sell it and then reassemble it all for someone else. That's the fun of Black Hole. Anyway, there's the main connectors. Basically the last one, so it was a long time coming. Could be a power switch getting turned on in the near future. Let's see, make sure none of these wires are unhappy. Okay, that seems fine. Most of my labels were all intact except for one, so that made life easy, because I don't even know if this head actually belonged to this body or if they all got mixed up because there were so many heads and so many bodies. I don't know for sure, but anyway, getting close. And I should probably have a reply or two on Pinball Repair Help Group by now so I can get back to the Whirlwind. I found the missing piece to the puzzle. I forgot about that guy. So, I'll show you what I mean. This rogue guy, just hanging out there. And I also forgot that I didn't have anything connected to my soundboard, so let's see. Connect labels should be out. There we go. Now, our soundboard has power. So, how are you liking the looks of this new fancy flip board from far, far ways? You know what, I'm just going to be stubborn and try and connect this. Haha, that's why. I was matching the labels. And the labels are actually correct. That is the way to do it. Match the labels, just so you know. And then, okay, now I'm going to need two hands to really firm that up. But anyway, check out this guy. Isn't that nice? I'm going to have to do a bunch of reading before I turn this guy on. I mean, because I do think I have to select it for Black Hole. But I'm just getting closer to powering on. So let me squeeze this guy nice and tight and then check my Facebooks and see what my Whirlwind strategy is going to be. Alright, Black Hole history is about to be made. Hopefully good history. This thing was pieced together from a pile of parts, like a pallet full of Black Hole parts. We got a body, we got a head, we got displays, we got a lock bar, we got Kevin to redo the cabinet, we got the play fields done, we got new plastics, we got new rubbers, we got rebuilt mechs, we got a new spinny disc plastic, we got a back glass, like lock bar, playfield glass still, legs. I mean, all this stuff we had to piece together from a pile, and most of the pile, well, a lot of the pile was missing a lot of stuff. So, secondly, this is the third item that I bought from Amazon to try and improve my audio. It's a mic with the USB-C connector. I plug it into my phone and it says device not supported. So 2 adapters, screw them, and then the USB-C mic, screw that too. It doesn't work, so I'll try the 4th thing. Good thing Amazon likes returns. Okay, so this is the moment of truce. Of truth or truce? The moment of truth. Black hole, don't lie to me, you mother effer. Okay, I'll be nice to you. The reason I'm stalling is because it's taken us like months and months, it seems like, to get to this point where I can actually turn it on and watch it explode. Ugh, speaking of explode, should we be looking at the circuit boards or should we be looking at the transformer panel? Let's look at the transformer panel. Then we can see if any fuses blow. You know what? I'll just take you with me. This will be easier for you to see the action and the explosions. Okay, so there's the fuse panel there. I'm going to turn off the flash, because then if we see any thing bad happen, it'll be easier to see. Okay, let's try to peek at the inside and the displays and the lights and the playfield all at the same time, right at this angle. Alright, I'm a little scared. Please don't break on me, brand new $600 circuit board. 3. Am I ready? Wait. Am I ready? Is there anything else? Anything else? Scary. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Black hole. Holy shit. Do you see what I'm seeing? No explosions. Uh-oh. Stuff is happening. Some weird stuff is happening. There is a coil that... Oh, wait, no. That's just the gate. The gate relay. I think. But why am I hearing some other thing click? Is that just the gate relay? It kind of sounds like a solenoid is firing. It does. What is it? It feels like it's the out hole. Is it the out hole kicker? Let's see. I mean, we're in attract mode. Lights are working, displays are working. I don't have sound yet. But maybe because this isn't set to black hole that some solenoid is firing that would normally be a saucer. Hey, look. Drop targets didn't reset. I don't know, I think it's a good start. Let's go into the test. Here we go. What we got to do is make sure we're on black hole. So, menu. Looks like I got to charge that first display. Common settings. Game setting. Game setting. Is that the one I want? I'm going to hit the... This is kind of like the enter button, I believe. Enable switch 32. What? That's not what I want. No. Can we exit, please? Disable stuff. Exit, yes. Okay, menu. Game audits, common settings, game settings, sound, scores. Preset scores, clear, coil test, display test, sound, switch, lamps, exit. Okay, let's exit. And let's, reading instructions is always helpful. I don't want game audits. We know that for sure. Common settings, don't think changing, from one game to another to make it black hole would be common. I think that would not be it. I thought it would be game settings, but obviously that does not appear to be it. Okay, let's go to common game audits. Now, yeah, see, that ain't it. Exit, please and thank you. Okay, so let's go to game. No, what did we want? Common settings. Common settings. Ooh, what? Free play. Coin tune, replay, unlimited, normal, balls. All kinds of cool settings you can mess with. Well, I don't know how much. Oh wait, how do I go backwards? Oh, I gotta scroll through it all over again. Okay, what I can say is that let's just exit at some point. There, exit. I don't know if we have it on free play or not, but let's try and add a credit and see what happens. Ready? Oh, wow. We have sound. And look, maybe that 99 I think means free play, maybe. I don't have a ball. I don't have balls. I don't have balls. Okay, let's grab, this is a 3-ball game. Let's grab 3 random balls for now. That's what it is. Maybe it wants those balls. No, that ball did not kick over. We might not have solenoids, considering the drop targets have not reset. Well, I'll put in 3 balls. They aren't going to go anywhere. I'll hit the start button and see what happens. Okay. That switch looks to be like a little sensitive. Or it's just trying to find balls. Waiting to find balls. Okay. So for whatever reason, we just don't have solenoid voltage. Some solenoids. I figured that I would have issues for sure, but it's actually a little further along than I was expecting. Cool. Infinity lights. Looks like got to change a few. This whole side mostly. But we've got displays, we've got lights, we've got inserts, we've got GI, we've got sound, diagnostics. All we're missing right now, it looks like, is solenoid voltage. And this guy needs to be charged. Change some light bulbs. This is the first time I've ever seen this machine turned on. First time I've ever been able to see light bulbs. I can't remember if I tested all these individually or not. No, probably not. I figured it'd be easier just to do it like this. But I gotta say, I'm pretty thrilled with the progress so far. So I just gotta make sure. It has to be on black hole, doesn't it? Anyway, I gotta find me some solenoid voltage. Those targets didn't come up either. These ones are up, but maybe they just started up like that, and that's why. Yeah, okay, well, that's good. I'm happy. Cool. All right, still got a lot of work to do, but definitely that was a bridge that we were waiting to cross for a long time. Do you see a problem here? I am repinning the connector for the power supply. I'm putting a new one on. So as I'm crimping wire number 3, I accidentally catch wire number 1 and 2 in the teeth. And it's ratcheted, so I can't release them. So that is very annoying, frustrating, and that is why this channel is called Pinball Shenanigans and not how to do things without friggin' being stupid. Ugh, what a dum-dum. I will remedy my stupidity. Oopsies. Alright, I was able to undo my little mishap there. I just cut the terminals off the wires and kind of slid them out of the ratchet so I didn't lose too much wire. I only lost about 1/8 of an inch on the top two. So got my key plug in and the connector is good to go. Let's see how comfortable it plugs in now. It's a little slightly tighter, and definitely going to take a little more effort to plug this bad boy in now. That is snug. And that should be a nice solid connection now. Yeah, okay, so time to do that guy now. You're next. Alright, this connector's done. Next thing I'm going to do is pull out the CPU and reflow those headers, and then that rules out pretty much the headers, this connector, the headers, and this connector. And if there's an issue after that, then I will smash my head against the wall. Alright, let's take a real close look. Yeah, I think that'll do. Alright. That connector has been reflowed. Time to stick it back in and see what happens. Alright. 5 volts. Power supply is connected. CPU is connected. CPU is booting up. I've been here, done that though before, so hopefully I did something that will help the stability of the CPU. Now I'm going to kind of systematically plug in boards. I'll plug in like a few connectors, check the voltage, and rinse and repeat, and just see if for any reason any other connector or board pulls down the voltage. So I'll keep doing that until everything's plugged in, and keep my fingers crossed. Alright, everything is reconnected yet again. And I figure now that I just put away all my repinning tools, I might as well address this wire. Yeah, so I just put away everything. Nice clean slate, but then I remembered this guy. This looks to be like a brown wire. And I'm pretty sure somehow, I remember that it went to this connector here, J11. I either seen a photo or someone mentioned it or both. So I just pulled up the schematic for the interconnect board for J11. And brown gray is solenoid number 16. Oh, this I did not know. And it looks like it goes on pin 1. So, I don't know why the connector is completely missing from that, but maybe someone stole it for something. What is solenoid 16? What are we missing? That would be interesting to know. Let's see if I can kind of find that quick here. Should be a solenoid chart, usually up front. Here we go. Lamps, switches, jumpers, solenoid table. Solenoid number 16 is the lower playfield back box GI relay. Brown gray. P12-9. Q6. Well, it is brown. It says brown gray there. And it starts at the CPU board. P12-9. P12-9. Let's remember that. 12-9. And brown gray. 12-9 brown gray. Now where was that information? 12-9 brown gray. Here we are. Okay, interconnect. Brown gray. Okay, so that is that. 12-9 on the CPU. Okay, connector. Let's zoom out so you can see. 12. Where's J12? J8, 10, 11, 12. Pin 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, yeah. There it is. So that. Brown gray. That is definitely brown gray. You can really clearly see that. And then who knows where it goes to, but yeah, there's some gray there. Okay, I think we're all happy. I'll attach that to pin 1. And then we'll turn on the machine and see what happens. Alright, here we go. New connector. Seems like a lot of connector for one wire, hey? Don't you like? That mark is for the key, and that mark is where I cut the connector to make it fit. Let's see how she goes. My first attempt, I put the wire on the wrong side. My second attempt here is failing as well. What seems to be my problem? Did I put the key in the wrong spot? Yep, that's what I did. Put the key in the wrong spot. Man, oh man. Well, that'll cost me another 12 cents. I promise I'm not screwing up this much on purpose. The wire on the wrong end, the key in the wrong hole. I'm almost afraid to like try and install this live because I'm probably screwed it up again, but there we go. The last connector, yay. All right, so give me a moment to clean up my mess. We're gonna power this on, and hopefully that'll be the last time I have to deal with anything in the back box, electronics wise. Fingers crossed yet again. Alright, everything is reconnected. It's been an interesting drama, I guess you could call it. Oh, I guess I need to plug it in. No, it's plugged in. It's plugged in. Okay. Let's just turn it on and see what happens. Holy. Yep. Oh yeah? So is this gonna stay on? Okie dokie. Why is that happening? I understand the solenoid's going crazy because it's looking for balls, isn't it? Is it? Okay. Let's give it some balls at least. And let's unplug that connector that I just plugged in. Hold on one moment. There. This was responsible for like a lower playfield relay. Maybe that... I don't think it has to do with the discs, but... Oh, so much fun. Let's try this again. Okay. Why the heck would that happen? Well, I think that's a good time to end this episode. A lot of one step forward and 6 steps backwards seems. I don't know. I didn't think I jumpered. I didn't think I bridged any header pins on anything, so I'm going to have to go to the drawing board and see what the heck I did. But hasn't been a lack of interesting events, I guess. So I wouldn't really call that a whole lot of progress, but it's stuff. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more stuff on the next one.